admittedly have fatigue. I've got Democrat
They start so
nominee
early
wannabe
now.
fatigue.
Yeah.
Is it like 50 running?
And there's just so many candidates. And I know, Kamala Harris is from California, so I can see why people in California care. But my question was, do people here care? Who cares? Like, if you support her, if you're a supporter, for sure,
then you care.
You're disappointed. But if you're not,
then it's just like, okay, on to the next.
I think in fairness, and I completely understand what you're saying, I think if you're a young African-American girl who saw her, and we always talk about on this show that representation matters.
Correct.
I think it matters. And if you're looking at the race right now, you see people like Tom Steyer and Bloomberg get in, buy their way in by most accounts, then it matters. So from a policy perspective, is she that different than all the other Democrats? No, they're all Democrats. They all are varying degrees of liberal, progressive, sort of on the spectrum. But I think having an African-American woman in the race was important, regardless of your politics.
Let's just take away just a woman in general, I think is important. But at the same time, I'm a woman. I wouldn't just vote for someone because they're a woman.
Of course not.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course
I think
not.
At the end of the day, if you support her, you supported her, and the announcement yesterday, it probably did come as a shock to a lot of people. But if you didn't support her, then it's like over your head.
In fairness, I think there are people who might not have supported her, who might be supporting one of the other candidates, but thought it was important someone like her was in the race, at least through the first few contests.
But you know what's ironic about the whole thing? That she drops out now. One of these candidates who becomes the nominee could choose her as the vice presidential nominee, so she could become the first African-American female as a vice president.
I mean, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
There has to be another strategy there. It has to be another strategy other than the money.
But there are too many billionaires out there running. Hey, somebody trying to come in the door.
What is going on?
Some construction.
We do. I mean, we have 2 billionaires in that campaign.
So the thing is this, though, is anyone surprised? Like, I guess I'm a little cynical.
I think at this point,
I'm like, in order to
people will start falling off.
I think people are surprised that she did this now. I thought most people thought that she was one of the stronger candidates.
No, I'm saying surprised about billionaires.
That the billionaires. Well, I mean, this is sort of a new thing. Billionaires, like, sort of.
But what I'm saying is, everybody knows now you have to have money to run, right? You have to. So if any of us normal people say like, oh, we can identify with so-and-so. No, you can't. I mean, most of these people have. So if you're running for president, you have a big purse,
And I've heard it said there's no stronger force on the planet than a rich man's ego. And decide to run
you
for
said
office.
it.
You know that it's
there are quite a few out there,
right?
Right.
And if you got the money to burn,
not there yet.
Right.
So
you can convince yourself that you are the person.
And that may be the future. The fact that if you're going to become the president of the United States, you got to be a billionaire. That may be the standard has been set.
I feel like we have so many rules and policies when it comes to campaign funds, how you raise them, what you do with them. I don't think you should be able to use your own money.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone should be on a level playing field, and you should have to get money from donations.
Because it's not fair.
But
even that would be tainted.
Let me just make the other argument here, is that wouldn't you rather them use their own money than be influenced from others?
Well,
because that's what usually happens.
In many cases,
but they're going to be influenced from others anyway.
Whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, you take PAC money and you take money from organizations that you are then beholden to.
I know. I just think the whole process of it, like, we love democracy,
the idea of buying your way in is not a good one.
Right, and the whole process of like being able to have enough money that you can infiltrate every social media system. You can infiltrate the ads. You'll see them all.
Why did I tell you last week that I saw the statistic that Bloomberg dropping $40 million in ad buys last week was the equivalent of the average American family spending $37 on dinner.
I mean, wrap your mind around that.
What?
Yes.
What?
Him dropping $40 million is that little.
Because he has so
crazy.
much.
That's how much money. He's worth like $50 billion.
And listen,
he makes Donald Trump look like poor.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Certainly, and I don't begrudge anybody for having money and
spending $30 on it.
But I'm not. You're getting someone to do it for you, and then you're complaining about it. But someone who you are. I hear you. You tell me.
I'm not even comment on it.
It's true. I think it's amazing that these people, like with a Michael Bloomberg, he is self-made.
Good for them.
Unbelievably, and good for him. I mean, I think it's amazing. I just also don't think it's fair for someone like Kamala Harris, who then has to drop out, and then the requirements of like you need to have this much money to even be in the debate.
I saw last night on Twitter that Elizabeth Warren was actually sending out a fundraising email saying, "Hey, here this woman of color, a senator, having to drop out of the race while these 2 billionaires are running."
Yeah, but she's doing that to get money.
I know that's what's funny. But it's strategic.
Like,
it's funny. It's
funny.
just like, wow, this is a way you can actually raise money.
If you go back in history, there are other candidates who've had their way kind of bought in.
Yeah.
Go back to John F. Kennedy.
I was just going to say
his father paved the way with multi-millions of dollars.
Some are saying that he would never have won without the Teamsters.
Well, and his dad.
And his dad.
His dad is the one that really got him into the White House.
Speaking of, have you seen Irishman?
I've heard a lot about
I saw that on Netflix.
It's a very long movie.
Yeah, I watched it. Did you see it?
Was it good?
I did.
Really good.
I need to watch it. I actually saw it on there yesterday.
We're all off the map on today's rundown. Watching The Irishman, I am reminded, and everyone in that movie is good, but I am reminded, Al Pacino is a master. That man is literally
like both De Niro and Pacino.
But I feel like De Niro is somebody we talk about on a regular basis as being just so good.
Yes,
but Al Pacino, that man is amazing.
Okay, so if we didn't give background, The Irishman is a movie that it's a Netflix film. It's Martin Scorsese. It's about Jimmy Hoffa. It's based on a true story. They did like these CGI things where they aged them and then they made them younger. Like no other movie has done. I think they spent like $300 million making this film.
I watched the trailer. Ever made, and it was a Netflix.
And it's on Netflix.
Hopefully they make it back.
Was it like a 2-hour movie?
No, it's like three and a half hours.
3.5. You have to devote some time to. But just amazing. The actors are just. You're reminded how talented they are.
To put those two together, they had been in the same movie in The Godfather, but never worked together before.
Yeah.
I will say this: you have to, in order to appreciate the movie. This is my take on it as a former movie critic.
Okay.
Award-winning.
There they are.
Yes. In order to appreciate the movie, you have to know the background because they're not going to give you much character development.
Yep.
You got to already know who the players are.
Yes.
Because
if you don't know Jimmy Hoffa,
then you have no.
Forget about it.
Who Jimmy Hoffa was.
Right.
Did you watch the whole 3.5 hour in one sitting? I'm gonna have to take a break.
I don't think you're not going to turn that movie off. I mean, it's
riveting.
It's going to be a classic.
Even if you don't like the topic or you're not aware of the topic, the acting is
well, and also I think there's a dynamic too of like what it means to be a child of someone who's in the mob and has those kind of like you're still a father and they still see you, and then it's just watch it. Let us know what you think.
Let us know.
Or if you've seen it, let us know if you like it.
It's a lot of Italians playing Irish is what that is. You know, that's the director, the two major actors in that.
We also need to talk about something else that we want to hear from you about. So the search is on for a new head coach for the Carolina Panthers. Ron Rivera fired. This is another big talker this morning. Carolyn, you can dive into it. We want to know what you think. Right now, I'll talk about the poll. 42% saying yes, that they agree the Panthers' decision to fire Coach Rivera was right on point. And then 58% saying no. I know it's been pretty close all morning. Perry Fuel, he will now be the interim head coach while David Tepper looks for a new person.
Local guy from Cranston, went to South Point High School.
Yeah, I was listening to sports radio on the way in, driving in today, and I popped across the dial, and every single national sports radio show, that was the topic of discussion.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they were talking about.
Definitely came as a shock. I know a lot of the players were reacting on social media. A lot of people just saying, hey, you were there from number one. You know, we will miss you. We thank you. But what could be the road for River Ron now? And then what's going to
they're thinking
the road
he's
look
probably
like for
going to go to
Panthers?
the Giants, which would make sense.
Well, I mean, Giants, Buffalo. He's got connections to Buffalo. Yeah, I'm not sure. He and Gettleman weren't. I mean, they weren't that close. I don't think. But,
no, but Gettleman has always said that he thinks he's a great coach.
It depends upon whether he wants to coach or he's a great defensive coordinator. He could go, or he may just stay out a year. You know, lay back, relax.
Good for him.
Yes.
He should.
He deserves that.
He should.
I think it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say. He's having a news conference is scheduled for 8:15 this morning. It'll be interesting to hear what his reaction is because it seemed like I read so many things yesterday, and it seemed like the coaching staff was taken back by this. And I don't know if, because originally we were told we're going to wait until the end of the season. We were actually told that. We're waiting until the end of the season to make any changes. So I don't know if something happened
Yeah.
You know, like there was a conversation between Tepper and Rivera.
If you watch Tepper, what he had to say, I think he started thinking about it. He goes, you know, he wants to be a winner. He does not like mediocrity, and I think he just finally said, "Hey, I got to make a change now." I think that's the way he operates as a businessman.
Yeah. Why
Don't wait, just do it right now.
Also, during the interview, he said that he didn't want to look for another head coach while he was still in place, so that's why he wanted to go ahead and make the decision and then started looking, because he respected him that much, I guess, as not only a coach but a man. I thought that was interesting.
I think it's interesting too that I wonder if any of this has to do with the fact that apparently Rivera was going to keep with the strategy of playing the veterans and whatever. And I think that at this point there's concern about injuries, because what if more of these guys get hurt? These are people who we need next season. We know this season is a wash.
Speaking of that, do we know how Olsen's doing? That just went quiet.
I know, because of everything that happened. Right, I don't know.
So we don't know.
That was covered up with the Cam situation.
The concussion protocol, he's in that. We don't know whether he's out of that or not.
I think if you're in concussion protocol, doesn't mean you're out for the next game.
Well, I mean, I think you can be in that temporarily. I think examination, when they go back into a re-examination, you can be out of the protocol pretty quickly.
And you know, I wonder if some of this had to do with the strategy that Rivera was having moving forward with playing veterans and not playing like Will Greer, for example. He's the rookie quarterback. Maybe just if we know that Kyle Allen is not. Kenyo behind our camera saying, "Don't do that." But you know, if we know that we're not winning, we're not going for the playoff run anymore. Why not just test? Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? But something must have happened.
Well, I'll tell you. Speaking of that, and that's a good point right there, because the Steelers did that. They took their third-string quarterback. He is now starting. So I mean, who knows?
Who knows? It's going to be interesting what he says
with this interim coach. Maybe what's also interesting is that Tepper did not put in a veteran, successful Super Bowl coach, Norv Turner. Norv Turner is now an assistant.
Yep,
he's not the offensive coordinator. That's another interesting thing. His son is now the offensive coordinator.
I think we knew that move was going to happen. I didn't think I figured Norv Turner would take over as head coach, but I think that's super interesting too.
It is. He's been kind of relegated to assistant to the head coach. Yeah. What does that mean?
Interesting. Yeah. All right, a lot of people sounding off on Facebook Live. Natasha saying, great guy, coaches do not play the game, the players play the game. He can lead you to water, can't make you drink. In other words, he can say, do this, play or that, but ultimately the players may or may not listen to his direction. Ray Orden is saying, I agree, it's been in the works. Next is Cam. Carla saying he will miss him as a coach. He's a good man. However, the owner has the last say. A lot of people sounding off. Obviously, we will hear more developments, especially after that 8:15 presser, and the conversation will continue. You know, there is not a plethora of coaches available. If you look out among the NFL football, who is the next guy up? Yeah. It could be someone out of college. It could be an assistant somewhere. But maybe he has some ideas. Maybe bring it. Bill Cowher was the coach for the Steelers and was very successful. Lives in North Carolina. Maybe you're saying no, but I mean, he's a great quarterback, a great coach for the Steelers. Yeah. Kind of hanging out. Maybe he brings him out of the mothballs. Who knows? Kenny does not agree. It's just so crazy that after the Cam thing, now this. It's just. Quite the year. Bank of America Stadium. So the question is, if Cam was playing and was healthy, would this be happening? I don't think so. I don't think so. And that's why I asked earlier. I don't know if we want to dive into it, but that's why I asked, what percentage of the game does the coach make up versus the players? I don't know. I don't understand. There's no good solid answer. No, there's no. Yeah. No, you can't. You'll find different answers. It's almost unfair because you can't. That's a toss-up. That'll never be answered. All right. Takes both. It takes both. Two to tango. Yeah. All right. Well, more on that to come. Pretty sure. Let's talk about something else though. If your wife or hubby seems a little uptight, word on the street is hand them the TV remote, because ultimately there's either or wants to be in control. There's a new study out that a third of us are happier when we are in control around the house, and things that we want control the most. I think this was a talker this morning. Finances, the grocery list, TV remote, and the thermostat temperature. I am like the opposite of this. I don't want to be in charge of anything. I don't want to be in control either. Until you don't like the way something is handled. Are you guys married? Are you married? No. Well, let's see what happens when you're married. I want input. Okay. No, you want input, then you do. Exactly. You do want to say what the temperature is. Right. You do want to have what's on TV that you want to watch. Well, no, I feel like I'm not in control as far as it needs to be like this. I will always suggest, but I feel like you have to compromise when you are married. I'm not married, but I do understand in life right now you have to compromise. But there are more things that I feel like I would be kind of like on my future husband about other than stuff like that. Talk to us in 10 years. I will. And I'll let you know. And you know what? When I'm wrong, I'll say that I'm wrong.
more likely to believe it with you.
Her, on the other hand.
I don't see you like, honey, whatever temperature you want, or honey, whatever you want to watch is fine with me. What world are you living in?
Well, here's the thing. I will not be with somebody who doesn't have the same interests and likes that I have.
So I feel like once you pick that person, you knock out all
temperature?
of that.
Temperature is that to me is not like whatever. That's stupid.
Yeah, like I'm
not going to fight with.
It is something that couples argue about all the time.
The only thing I would say finances, because I'm still on the fence. My friends talk about it all the time. Are we going to have joint accounts, separate accounts? Are we going to have a joint account and separate accounts? Now that is one thing that will be interesting in my future relationship.
Whoa, what? You're saying if you're married, you won't have a joint account?
I don't know. That's something that we'll have to discuss because I don't know how I feel about that.
I know how you feel about it. You want what's yours and you want what's his.
Maybe, maybe not. I will not answer that.
Way to commit. Okay, tell me why I'm wrong.
I'm just saying, you don't know what I'm like in a relationship.
Ann Booth says, tell her, Ben.
No, you don't know what I'm like in a relationship.
Never been
While I may appear very alpha female, which I am, it takes an extra alpha.
I like about you. You know this.
So you do not want to be the dominant person in a relationship, even though you come off as very dominant.
No, but there are men who are more dominant,
so
who are real.
The question is, where is that man?
Why did this turn into a Carolyn? Let's talk about your dating life.
Who is going to control this woman?
First of all, if we could do it right now, call any one of my ex-boyfriends, they'd be like, she acts like she's in control. I don't want to be in control. I make decisions.
Okay, so you're tough on the outside and soft on the inside.
The softest. Are you kidding? I'm like putty.
I do believe
like,
that.
I am so soft. Like, that's why I have to act so hard. Because if I'm loving you and you're loving you, who the hell's loving me?
Amen.
Hey.
Sounds like a nice country song.
I might write a song right now and sing it.
Write that country song.
This is funny.
Let's sing
that
it.
Is
Thank
so
you for diving into this.
Right? Okay.
I hope that everyone can look back at this and
We can
Let's talk about something sweet.
Before we go, let's talk about.
I think that was very therapeutic, wasn't
it was not therapeutic, and I'm going to make sure that they don't post this on Facebook.
Hey, we are going to post it.
No, we're not.
Let's talk about Christmas candy, guys. It's the holiday season.
Yeah, but we can take it off so it's not.
It's the holiday season.
It's the holiday season.
Can we pull up the graphic, please? So
yeah, but this is a bunch of garbage because this isn't Christmas candy.
So what is it then?
I like Snickers the best. Is that Christmas candy?
I don't know.
And I like M&Ms. That's not Christmas candy. That's candy.
Well, Christmas candy is just there's only a few things that are Christmas candy.
Right. So that's why this is garbage.
Yeah. Either way it goes, people in North Carolina, they like Snickers. South Carolinians like M&Ms.
Yeah, okay, so do I.
That's candy.
Right.
No. That's candy.
We're talking about like peppermint bark, candy canes.
Yeah, like
that sort of thing.
Chocolate covered cherries.
Yeah, those are Christmas things.
Precisely.
Well, apparently the most popular across the country is colored candy corn.
Wait, and do you guys see this in the middle? There's Elf on the Shelf. People like to eat Elf on the Shelf the best.
What do they like in Texas?
What the heck is that?
I don't even know what that's a donut.
No, that's Elf on the Shelf.
I know, but I assume that's some sort of candy I'm not aware
Must
of.
be New Mexico candy.
Reese's Pieces? That's not
Texas likes a donut, I guess.
Is that a donut? That looks like a wreath.
I'll squash all of this.
That's Rolos.
Let's talk about the weather.
Starburst? Since when is Starburst?
You know what they're doing? They're considering if they come in holiday colors like Rolos or
it's that
Hershey
company that's
Kisses.
selling all that candy.
Yeah, this is Snickers.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Before we go, I will have to say, I don't know if you guys know about this, but I'm going to put you up on game. There's these Oreos that come out only during the Christmas time, and they're white chocolate covered, and they only come 12 in the box.
Listen.
I know about all this.
Carolyn and I feel very strongly about this, that there is no better candy, it's not really candy, but sort of candy in the world, than the Trader Joe's thin pretzel, chocolate-covered peppermint.
Peppermint bark.
It's really, not even eat a bag. I would eat 3 bags in a row.
You would. I can't stop.
It's crazy.
What's in these Oreos?
It's good. We have to talk about the weather. We don't have time. We're running out.
All right, today should be very nice, upper 50s, more of the same tomorrow and Friday. It will be a very cold weekend. What's that?
Dating therapy session.
But
absolutely, that's what we had this
talk.
morning. Very cold for the weekend, but next Monday and Tuesday in the 60s. With rain.
Folks,
there's always a catch, though.
Yeah.
You got more than you paid for on this Facebook
More
Live.
than you paid for.
So did I.
I think I got more than I paid for.
I'm not paid enough for this.
Right?
Yeah.
Guess what? It's Wednesday. That means it's closer. We are closer to the weekend. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
That is a true statement.
Yes.